Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson. We are in our series, Are You Ready to Compete? And for our second episode, I want to talk about, will other people support you? How will this decision impact others around you? And I mentioned in our first episode, Adam, that there was a time that I didn't even tell anybody, didn't tell friends, didn't tell my family, because I just am the kind of guy that doesn't want to create a stir. You know, if I'm mortally wounded, I'm going to be the guy who crawls off into the woods to die alone. So I just don't like to create waves. But other people, kind of make it all about them. And, oh, look at me, I'm competing, look at this. And they just want to talk about it nonstop. And I think whichever kind of personality you may think you are, we have to go over how this will impact other people. So in your brain, for yourself personally and for clients, what are the factors that you try to consider?
Yeah, basically with that being said, making sure, your husband or wife is on board with it. Sometimes the whole act of competing, especially if it's your first time, can be a very big pivotal point in a relationship, because guys will be like, well, why do you want to be on stage in front of everyone in a bikini? And some husbands are a little hesitant about that. And I think sometimes even some wives can be as well. So I think that's huge. This not only is just a day, but it's a whole process. So making sure that that aligns with your spouse or boyfriend, I think is really key. And making sure that they're truly on board with it. And I think most of the time you'll find that pivotal point where they are. But then you also have family members, you have gatherings, things of that nature. You might get comments like you're eating like a bird at the table or something like that. So you need to be around people that truly do support you, and not just support you when it's convenient to do so, even when it's inconvenient to do so.
You brought up a lot of great points there, Adam.
Yeah.
Just fantastic. And just to piggyback on what you said about food, I know mothers and mother-in-laws who will be very offended that you're bringing in your prepared food and you're not eating what they're having. So, for you to even anticipate having to have those kinds of conversations is important. And I wouldn't say hide from them. I wouldn't say, try and avoid. A lot of people do retract away from social situations when they're competing because they just don't want to have to deal with that. But it's a consideration. But let's talk for a second about what you just said about, for a lot of people, this sport is kind of weird. And even your own spouse or partner may think, why are you doing this? It's very odd to me. I don't think I've ever even had that conversation with anybody, Adam. I mean, tell me how bad. Give me a worst case scenario. What have you seen this do to impact somebody?
Actually, my first guy, I got ready for a show. I was doing the show with him, and he went to get tanned. The wife happened to notice the tanning tent was full of just all women who did the tans. She couldn't deal with it. He left that night, did the whole contest prep and everything. The tan was a no-go. He even tried to explain that they do the guns, and he wasn't touched, but she saw areas on him were dark that she thought only she should be seeing, and she was not happy.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, that is definitely something to think about. Now that you mention it, I do remember one of a friend of mine. He actually trained in our gym, the gym that I owned. His wife never knew he competed. And so she didn't even know what this was, the sport. He knew it would just be too weird for her. So the night before the show, he had to shave, of course, get rid of all his body hair. He hurried up, ran in bed, and kind of tacoed himself in the sheet so she would not notice that he had shaved his body. And he did the entire show, entire prep, and she never even knew it. So you can go that far, guys. But again, something to consider if you're looking at doing your first show or anticipating whether it's just the right year to compete. Make sure you talk to other people, get their support, get their ideas. They often have great opinions because they know us sometimes better than we know ourselves. So good to surround yourself with all those people and say, okay, I got a question. I'm considering this. What do you guys think? And for you guys, thanks for hanging in there. We're going to go into episode 3 next time in this series, Are You Ready to Compete? So thanks for watching and listening.